Everyone, and welcome back. For today's video, I want to go back to basics as I was starting to do this series last year in 2016. We left off on contouring, where I showed you tips on how I teach contouring on each individual face. For today, we're going to be talking about the nose. I'm going to show you how I contour my nose, and then I'm also going to show you my favorite brushes that I use normally on a daily basis to basically sculpt my nose. I do have all my complexion makeup on, so I'm right at the step where I would stop and contour my nose. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I use. Now for powder, I'm going to use the Anastasia contour powder and the darkest shade down here. Now I do use two brushes. The first brush I use is from Tarte, and this is just a brush that's in the SwampQueen eyeshadow palette. I noticed that the way that it's cut and the way that it's packed, it works perfect for the nose. I don't go up as high as the eyebrows. What I do is I start right here and I go down. So the powder, I first place it right where, basically where my eye crease is. This is my eye crease right here. That is where I first put the powder. So if you want, just go wherever your eye crease is, make the dot right there, and then go down. Packing it on strong so that way you can see it. Again, I'm going to go by my crease, which starts right here on the nose, and go down. Now you're going to want to do a straight line. I kind of messed up right there because I'm filming. I like to put some powder right underneath the nostril. That will lift it. I actually don't put any right there. I put it right here to pinch it. Now I just brush off the extra powder that might be on the brush. I'm just going to slowly start to blend it out onto my skin. Now again, I have excess powder there. Don't worry, I'm still going to get it. I'm also not applying too much pressure here because I don't want the powder to start moving all over the place. I just want to just blend it out just a little bit. Now for the second brush, I have the Luxie 182. This is the double-ended Jady Weighty brush. So if you want, you can use this side of the brush to take your powder or your cream product to actually place the lines on your nostrils. And then I use this side to blend it out. I'm going to take the blending side of the 182. I start at the top and then just start to move the powder out. I'm glad that I have a lot more powder up here because then I can show you how I fix those mistakes. So if you go a little bit heavy-handed on your nose, this is how I correct it. Okay, just start to blend the powder out. And this brush blends out the powder just really good. If you go heavy-handed with your powder, don't remove the lines, don't remove your makeup and feel like you have to start over. This is what I recommend you do. Take a pressed powder that is the closest to my skin tone or my skin tone. What I usually have here on the desk is the Hoola bronzer from Benefit. So in my bronzer declutter, I did talk about how I use this Hoola bronzer. I use this bronzer in multiple ways. I really do enjoy it. What I do is I take an angled brush. This one just happens to be by e.l.f. It's the angled contour brush. Now the brush is densely packed, but it's cut at a slant. Pick up some powder here. Tap off any excess, and then just apply the powder up, starting at the top of the nose, and bring it down. So what this powder will do, or if you're going to use any face powder that is your skin tone, it's just going to blend in with your contour powder and make it just look more realistic. I'm not a fan of a really harsh nose contour. That's just me. to pick up some more on the brush and go on the other side. Now, if you want to, you can take the powder and just go straight down first and then start blending out. It's just your preference, whatever makes you feel comfortable. I just lightly dust it underneath the nose. I'm not going too far up because again, I still want that lifted effect, but just a little bit down there. And then a little bit here on the sides. Now, after doing that, if it still looks like your powder is not blended in, you can take any other blending brush, and I'll show you some more options, but I just grab the NARS Its Brush here. I go in, and then I just further kind of blend in the powder with the Hoola, going on both sides of the nostrils, right underneath the nose. This brush is great because it just gets right into where I need it to be. These are pretty much the two brushes that I use for my nose on a daily basis. I just kind of grab whichever is there first. So again, the Tarte brush. If I come across other brushes that look like this, I'll grab it because I love brushes and I just will try it out. But this is just perfect for me. And this type of brush with the bristles, it actually works too with cream products. So powder or creams, this will blend out your nose contour fine. The Luxie 182 by JD Wadey, this brush is designed for the nose. I do enjoy this one. It's got, again, the synthetic brushes to blend both cream and powder. One side to kind of lay it down, buff it out, and then the blending side brush to further blend it out. If you are going to use the face powder tip, I do recommend using some form of an angled brush. Again, this is from e.l.f. and the angled brush is just perfect to just lay and buff out that face powder to further blend in the two powders or the two creams together. This one being synthetic hairs, it will push and blend in the cream product too, and it also will work with powders. So either one. Just look for something that is dense, packed together, and cut at an angle, and it will work fine. The last brush I recommend is to use an eyeshadow brush, but a crease brush that is packed, a denser crease brush. So I have two that I just randomly use, two for my nose when I just want to blend out the powders. Now this first one is from Morphe. This is the M503. This brush I use because it's already shedding and it's shedding a lot in my crease, and I just got tired of the hairs going every which way on my eyelid. So I looked at it and I said, well, this will work to blend out the powder on my nose, and it does. And then last is a crease brush. This is from Revlon. Again, some of the hairs is kind of shedding a bit. What I like about this brush from Revlon is it's pointed at the top. That's what I like about it. So you have even further control to kind of move the product around. And then you can kind of hold the brush kind of downwards because it's also slanted cut on the end, and you can use it to blend out the powder. So I actually really like that brush for that. Any type of an eyeshadow brush that is a little bit dense packed, but cut, and it can either be cut at an angle if you want to do it like that, or it can just be a regular crease brush. Look also in the eyeshadow sections and see which one that you would rather use to blend out your powders. Really simple, right? That is my everyday nose contour routine. Very easy, very simple. Next up will be the concealer highlighting. So I will show you how I do my highlight effects underneath my eyes, what favorite brushes I use, and then we'll just move on from there. So we're going back to the basics. In 2017, I just want to show you my tips and tricks on how I do it. And again, I hope they're helpful for you. So thank you very much for stopping by and watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day or evening. And as always, I'm going to see you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.